I'm Harrison Graham from Chat Sports. Coming up here on today's Chiefs Report, could Kansas City sign free agent Connor Williams? We have an update on his health recovery from ESPN's Adam Schefter. We'll dive into that. And we have a big Chiefs Stadium update as the state of Kansas is making a strong push to poach the Chiefs from the state of Missouri. We'll get to all that coming up here on today's show. But first, got to be honest, Chiefs Kingdom, I'm a little disappointed. This is our sub-battle update for the month of June, and we're not even in the top 10 among channels here at Chat Sports. Vikings now leads the way at 520. 10th place, big rival Raiders Report, 281. We're only at 151 here on the Chiefs Report. So let's get some more subscribers. If you want daily and free Chiefs content, plus want to be more competitive, if you will, in this company competition, let's get more subscribers. It's 100% free. All right, let's talk Connor Williams here, as Adam Schefter provided an update yesterday afternoon that he is expected to be ready by week 1. He, of course, tore his ACL last November and has been rehabbing post-surgery. Here's more from Schefter. Former Cowboys and Dolphins free agent center Connor Williams, who is coming off that season-ending knee surgery, expects to be ready for the start of the season and is in discussion with multiple teams about where to play in 2024. He plans to pick his new team before training camp begins. I have some interest here in Connor Williams. 6-year player. He's been a good player in this league. He provides positional versatility. He's still young, and I don't think he'll cost a ton at this point in the offseason. You look at how he played last year. Pro Football Focus, say what you want. Obviously, some subjectivity there. Graded out well. Number 2 graded center in the NFL last season. Excellent as a run blocker. Pretty good as a pass blocker as well. Gave up just 1 sack. Does get a little grabby at times. Had 7 penalties last year, but he was very, very good. And he was good in 2022 for Miami as well, as he made the shift from left guard to center. Now, obviously, when you think about the Chiefs, you're saying, okay, well, Creed Humphrey's the center. And yeah, there's no question about that. But you got Joe Thuney at left guard. We'll talk about him in a second. Trey Smith at right guard, who I love Trey Smith, but I think Connor Williams is probably a comparable player there. Could even be a tick better, depending on who you ask. I'm not talking about Connor Williams coming in and competing with Creed Humphrey as center. Like, if you were to bring him in here, he's not going to unseat Creed Humphrey. Like, that would not be what you would do here. You would bring him in here as a guard who could also be your backup center if Hunter Norzad isn't ready or whatever the case may be. He's played more guard than center in the NFL. His first 4 seasons, where he was a solid starter for the Dallas Cowboys, 57 starts. Last year, shifted to center for the Dolphins, 26 starts. So he's got extensive experience playing both left guard and center. He can play right guard as well. Played left tackle at college. This is a versatile player. And Connor Williams, now I'm not saying put him at left tackle, even though the Chiefs need a left tackle. I don't think he's solving your problems over there. But in a pinch, he could play over there if you absolutely needed him. So why am I really talking about this? Harrison, we got our center. Joe Thuney's an all-pro. Trey Smith is solid. Well, I have minor questions about Joe Thuney. Remember what Andy Reid said at the end of minicamp. Joe's working his tail off, getting better. We've got to see exactly how that thing works. We've got to get clearance from the doctor and that whole process that goes on as we go. But he's making good progress. He'll be one of those guys that's kind of right on the border on whether or not he can go from the healing part of it, talking about the start of training camp. If the Kansas City Chiefs were going to sign Connor Williams, it would not be as a center. They've got Creed Humphrey. But Joe Thuney, who is still recovering from an injury, Andy Reid was kind of non-committal on his timetable as he recovers from that pec injury, which was, 5 months ago, with training camp about a month away. Connor Williams started 4 years as a guard, played 2 years as a center. I think he's probably going to have better options, especially if he wants to keep playing the center position. But if I'm running the Chiefs, I'm at least calling. I'm showing interest. If the price isn't that much and he wants to ring chase for a year, then, hit the market again next year at still a relatively young age, I think he could do worse. Now, again, would I predict him signing with the Chiefs? No. Do I think Joe Thuney's probably ready by week 1? Yes, but okay, so Connor Williams becomes the best backup in the NFL. That's not a bad situation either. Again, probably not the best option for Connor, but from a Chiefs standpoint, with Joe Thuney still recovering, I would absolutely like to bring him on board as he would provide that insurance. So what do you guys think? Should the Chiefs sign Connor Williams? Type S for sign or type P for pass. again, I would be interested. So I would type my S for sign, but ultimately, I don't think this happens. I think he likely goes elsewhere because there's going to be teams out there that want to upgrade at center. There's going to be teams out there that would at least guarantee him a starting job as a guard. Chiefs can't do that unless Joe Thuney's not ready to go. And while that still seems up in the air and I have minor concerns, there's still 3 months or just under 3 months until week 1. So you would think Thuney would be ready by then. All right, coming up next, are the Chiefs leaving Missouri and Arrowhead Stadium for the state of Kansas? We got an update on that stadium situation as Kansas just passed a big bill to potentially make this happen. So we will talk about that. But first, we got a hell of a deal. This is even on a bigger discount now. It's just under 50% off. It's like 45% off right now. This Chiefs hat and T-shirt combo. Still a lot in stock. Chatsports.com/KC combo. Pick one up today. That link is in the comments and in the description. Chatsports.com/KC combo. You get a hat. You get a T-shirt. Training camp around the corner. I know a lot of you guys like to go. Gear up today for a big discount. Okay, are the Chiefs Kansas bound? State of Kansas has passed a star bond proposal, 27-8 in the voting. Pretty easy pass there among those lawmakers. This would give opportunity for the Chiefs and Royals to be built in the state of Kansas, near where the track is over there, where state of Kansas did a really good job. So they've got a history of building in this area that they're looking to build. Chiefs would be the priority, to be clear, but they do want the Royals as well. The Missouri proposals, essentially, they want Chiefs ownership to commit more money up front. They want to limit the amount that taxpayers would have to pay, whereas this Kansas proposal, that star bond, which is taxpayer money, other money that gets funded in there, it limits how much ownership has to pay. Shocker, these billionaires don't want to pay they want to pay as little as possible. Matt Evans, a good news guy in Kansas City for KNBC, tweeted this, talking about the vote. We already said that, 27-8, but this is the information I want to pass along. The bill now heads to the governor, who has indicated she will sign it. One lawmaker told me, quote, "This is the score part of a scoop and score." So what he's kind of saying here is if the governor checks off on this, which it sounds like they will, barring a counter proposal from Missouri that Chiefs ownership, Royals ownership likes more, the state of Kansas might get the Chiefs. And that talk about a big shift just in terms of a revenue driver, right? And just so the average fan understands, this stadium in Kansas would be essentially the same length, as you can see some renderings on your screen here, away from downtown Kansas City as it is now, just on the other side, right? Kansas state lines versus Missouri state lines. So it wouldn't be a huge, pain in the you-know-what, I don't think, for local fans there, but from a state revenue standpoint, this is huge, right? If the state of Kansas gets the Chiefs especially, but also the Royals, that's a big deal for the state of Kansas, whereas that has not been the case until potentially now. So these stadium renderings look pretty sweet. It's basically would be Arrowhead Stadium with the dome. A lot of similarities there. All new stadiums for the most part. They throw domes on them for the NFL just because better chance to get a Super Bowl, because right now they're never coming to Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium, because we saw in that Dolphins playoff game last year, it was negative 25 degrees. They're not going to put a Super Bowl in those conditions. But if you throw a dome up there, get the Super Bowl, Final Four, concerts, all that good stuff. So I would say it's pretty safe to say the momentum is toward the Kansas proposals right now. And that's pretty significant. It would be weird to see the Chiefs not play at Arrowhead Stadium. Could they do some kind of revamping of that stadium? Maybe, but it certainly doesn't seem like that's where this is heading right now. Now, I thought Arrowhead Pride did a pretty good breakdown here, a financial breakdown of what this would look like for the Kansas proposal. It says this: there's a good reason both teams believe, talking about the Chiefs and Royals, this could be a good option for them. They would have to provide just 30% of their project's total construction cost, which is expected to be between $2 and $3 billion. That means each team would be on the hook for just $600 to $900 million of the total cost, which sounds like a lot, but for these billionaire owners, if you can keep your investment under $1 billion for a $3-4 billion project, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? It's always about money. That's what these things are. I'm sure from a sentimental standpoint, the Hunt family would rather just stay exactly where they are and maybe build a stadium right there. But if they can get off the hook for 70% of the project cost, that's an easy decision for them. So unless something changes, man, it really does seem like the momentum is heading toward Kansas. Now, these things take a lot of time. There's a lot of steps. Like we said, the governor's step is the next one, and then the state and the teams and the city, they have to come to some sort of official agreement. But the wheels are churning on this thing, and I would not be surprised if the Chiefs long-term are in the state of Kansas. Now, what do you guys think? Where do you think the Chiefs will be playing long-term? Type M for Missouri or K for Kansas. Give us your thoughts down in the comments. Again, nothing's done, nothing's official, but I would say if you ask me today where I think is more likely, I think the state of Kansas has a leg up. All right, that's going to do it for today's Chiefs Report. My name is Harrison Graham. More videos to come here on the channel, so subscribe. Let's get those numbers up as we are in this month-long competition at the company, and we'll see you next time.